Last year, I hit my first 100K sales month, and this year, I came all the way back down to 30K months. I want to tell you why that happened, how it happened, and what I'm doing to get back to 100K months in a different way than what I was doing last year. So, first, let me set the scene and tell you the why and give it a background. So, in 2021, I started my coaching program, and from that April 2021 till 2023, I had scaled that coaching business and I was able to hit 100K revenue months, and I was able to do a few of them. But I had done this with a fairly large team. I had one setter, I had two client success coaches, I had a VA slash my wife helping out, I had a social media manager, and I always had a video editor at the time. Now, profit margins were maybe around about 80%. I can't remember an exact number, but around about 80%, which was, still good, but I always wanted more than that. So at that stage, the path to get to 100 to 200K cash months consistently was pretty simple for me, right? It's pretty simple, probably for a lot of people. It's you hire a closer for your sales calls, you hire more team to remove yourself from the business, you become more of a CEO than a creator. You start running ads to drive traffic to your page and just get more eyes and more people seeing your offers. And you just hire another setter maybe to work the lead, you do a bit more outbound, maybe go a bit colder. And what a lot of people do is they open up mass market, right? So they start from they stop targeting just a very specific person and they start opening up to the beginners, quote unquote, and they start targeting mass market. And that's how a lot of coaches you'll see will be hitting 100K plus months, is with that kind of setup and that type of targeting in place. But behind that particular path was a very, very big problem for me specifically. And it's that I started to dislike my business and I just started to dislike the way that I was building it. And I didn't start this business just to feel the exact same way I did in my 9 to 5, which is why I started a business in the first place. In the 9 to 5 I was in, this is back in 2019 when I was doing architecture. I didn't enjoy it. I wanted to be creative. The boss told me what to do. I was designing and drawing stuff that was boring. I had no creative input, no creative freedom to do what I wanted and how I wanted it. A lot of the work I was doing was admin work and it wasn't actually what I wanted to be doing anyway. Long story short, I ended up leaving the job after 3 months and then pursued a career in Instagram, graphic design, branding, advertising, a whole bunch of stuff that anyway led me to where I am here today, doing my coaching offer. Okay, and teaching coaches how to scale their coaching businesses to 7 figures in the simplest way possible. One offer, one platform. And so for me, I really was aiming for scale with the business last year, when actually I cared about profit more than I did about scale. But along the way, I lost my way essentially, and I started to listen to mentors and other coaches and sort of seeing how they done things. I lost a sense of actually what I wanted for myself and just started to move towards what other people were saying I should be doing. And so what happened was I had a little bit of a breaking point. And on a personal level, me and Liv, we had gone through a couple of miscarriages. We had other things we wanted to work on, other things with holidays, stuff we wanted to do. Like there's a whole bunch of positive and negative things going on in life. And it caused me a lot of stress. And when you add on to that, I had to show up every day, take sales calls every day, create content every day, be able to pay a team, be able to pay a lot of team members. You put all of this together, it become a bit of a pressure cooker. And for me, it's not that I couldn't necessarily, you know, um, deal with it. I could and I was. It's simply a fact of I didn't want to. I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to have a team of that size. I didn't want to have to deal with the stress of scaling in this way. And I think I accepted that in the first place because I didn't realize that there was another way. And then when I realized that there was another way, that's when I decided, well, I can control how I do things, but I need to accept there's going to be a sacrifice to get to the ideal situation I want to get to. And so what happened was at the end of 2023, I began to get rid of a lot of my team members and I began to also invest and spend a lot of time and trial and error, pretty much changing my entire business model. And I say entire, it's not completely, but how I sell, and how I sold my offer, I had to really change that. And so what happened was I essentially learned how to sell in the DMs. So it began with getting rid of the sales team. So the setter was one of the first actual team members to go. And so I had to change from sales calls to DM selling because I was taking sales calls every day, 4, maybe 5 a day sometimes. And it just became too much. You do that to grow the business. It's amazing. You do it over 2 or 3 years, it grinds on you. So that was one of the first kind of fires I had to make. Now, without sales calls, and then accepting I had to get less sales at that time, I couldn't keep the setter. So the setter had to go. But what it meant was I now had much more time back in my day, right? And I had extra time to put into my content and my client delivery. This meant client results improved. It meant I could focus on the things I really enjoyed. And I realized then that I wanted to prioritize my business around allowing me to do these things as opposed to working on parts of the business that I don't really enjoy. For example, sales calls. And so I simplified my content to the point where an editor was no longer needed. I improved my messaging to attract higher quality and higher caliber clients, which again meant that the clients I was bringing on didn't need as much hand holding. They didn't need as much accountability. And so I was able to let go one of my client success coaches. And so now I was down to, saving another 15%, let's say, on my profit margin. And I was back to 90% plus in terms of profit. And so at the start of this year, 2024, I began to really see the new business model taking shape for me. And with a few more investments and again, a lot of more kind of trial and error, I then ended up where I am right now, which is in a situation where I work less than 20 hours a week, very much on the path to 100K MRR. And that's the difference is that last year I hit 100K sales month, but then we're back to pretty much zero the following month. And this year and now on, I'm prioritizing recurring revenue. So I'm prioritizing payment plans and subscriptions and just making sure that I have a guaranteed amount of income coming in every month without having to even do anything. And so that really sets the scene. I'm going to switch over to Tab now. And I've already posted this on Instagram, but I wanted to dive into the points in detail and just want to explain how I'm thinking about building back to 100K months, specifically 100K months of recurring revenue, and in a way which doesn't require sales calls, all done via the DMs, doesn't require a big team. I can do it with the 1 or 2 team members that I currently have right now, and I can essentially manage that sales process myself because it'll be prioritized inbound leads rather than me having to reach out to people. And so here's the plan, and the plan is already in motion, plan's already working. So this is a proven plan, but I want to give you the insight before I get the outcome, which is probably going to happen in about 4 or 5 months. I should be where I want to be. And so, first point: build an audience of soulmates. So followers try, soulmates buy, is what I like to say. And so I've done the whole go viral, get thousands of likes, get 100,000 followers. I went from 0 to 100,000 followers in 9 months when I started my personal brand. But I don't play the follower game anymore because followers are not what we want. If you're selling a mass market product, if you're trying to be an influencer, if you teach people how to go viral on Instagram, yeah, of course, maybe followers is what you're going to try and get. But ultimately, everyone else who's selling something online, especially if it's a high ticket coaching program, you don't want followers, you want soulmates. Okay, soulmates are the people who will buy from you because they only want you. They're the people who engage and support you and refer and buy from you and they renew with you. They're the people that will buy with zero objections. They're the people that will buy high ticket offers in the DMs and not need to have a sales call. They're the people that when they buy and in your program, they're not messaging you every day and asking you silly questions. They kind of can lead themselves and get results off their own back inside your programs. And so it's really understanding that content strategy and the content you post is a massive part of that. Now, I'm not going to dive into that in detail, but a very big difference is knowing the difference between value content and shift content. Value content is giving people the answers. Shift content is telling people where to look. Okay, so if I'm trying to attract people and all they care about is, in theory, this, okay, whatever that is, if they care about this, and all I do is give them value on this particular thing, then there's no reason for them to buy. I'm giving them the answers that they think they need. My job as a coach is to say, look, you're looking at this problem right now as a thing you want or the thing you need. I'm going to create a shift and help you understand that this is actually what the real problem is. And when people have that shift and they understand that this problem is the real problem, it's not this, that's when I can say, look, that's what I help with. Here's the proof. Here's my client results. DM me and let's work together. And so it's a shift that creates the buyer, not the value. Value gets the follower, the shift creates the buyer. It's important to remember that. The second point is building a wait list and capping spots. So right now, I only accept a maximum of 10 new students every month. And I will only ever have a maximum of 60 students in my program. Now, at the time of recording, I think we have 25, 30-ish, around about that sort of number. I'm not sure the exact number, but it's around about that much. And we add close to 10 or 10 every single month. Now, I'm able to do that without sales calls because of a waitlist and because I cap spots. Now, the great thing with a sales call, it's very easy to create urgency and a reason to buy now on that call. You know, you get to know the person, you get clear on their problems, what they need help with, and then at the end, you give them an offer very much customized to them. And then you might say, hey, look, on the call, it's $3,000. Off the call, it's $4,000. I'll give you a fast action incentive. You know, it's very easy to create that reason now. But that requires a lot of time on a sales call. So the challenge becomes, okay, well, if I'm going to scale to 100K MRR, only send it in the DMs, how can I recreate that same environment of urgency and a reason to buy now without needing a sales call? And that's what the waitlist does, and capping the spots. So what happens now is people know if they want to join, if they want to work with me, they have a small window of opportunity every month for about 3 days. If they don't join, then they have to wait 30 days. And if they don't join in that 3 days, there's also a chance they might not be able to join next month if I fill up all the spots in my program. And of course, on top of that, in that 3 days, I'm only opening up 10 spots. So they have to move quickly if they want to work with me, because spots typically can get filled up in the 3 days, before the 3 days. Sometimes it might take the whole 3 days. And so that urgency and scarcity gives people a reason to act. And that is what helps to replace the sales calls. You know, selling on a sales call to selling in the DMs, a lot of people think you just do the same process but in the DMs, and it could be further from the truth. You know, it's a completely different model, selling in the DMs compared to the sales calls. Next point, make an offer almost every day. So I used to be a believer of the whole Gary V, jab, 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 left hook, right hook, whichever it is. I still am, but I think that how it applies is a little bit different than what it appears at face value. Most people believe they have to give value, let's say 5 days a week, and then on the 6th day, you can make an offer. Now, you can make offers in correlation to the amount of value you give. Now, I don't think that you need to treat it as, 5 amounts of value, one amount of, one offer. I think that if you have if you have value that's worth a certain amount, you can make an offer at the same time. So for me, as long as I'm given enough value, I can make an offer every day if I want to. Now, I will know that if people stop listening, if people stop engaging, if people start reaching out, people stop opening my emails, people stop reading my messages, I will know, or looking at my stories, I will know I'm probably making too many offers compared to the value I'm giving. But as long as I'm giving value throughout the entire time, then of course I can make as many offers as I want to. There's no real rules on the value versus the offer. You just got to make sure that the value you give is always higher in terms of perception than the offers you're making. Now I say value because that's just a standard term to use. But again, when I say value, I don't mean tangible, educational, step-by-step, here's what to do. Again, I mean creating a shift. I mean giving an insight. Value for me, again, is not about telling you what to do. It's about giving you a shift in how you think. It's in helping you understand that the problem you think is the problem is not the real problem. That's the value that I'm giving you. Likewise, in this video, I'm not telling you exactly how to do X, Y, and Z. I'm giving you maybe the blueprint, but I'm not telling you exactly step by step what to do. That's what people pay me for. But you will buy when you realize that what you're doing now isn't working, and that what I have to offer here is a different way and is a new way, and it's perhaps the way that sounds good to you. And so that's what I mean by value whenever I use that term. And so make an offer every day. The more offers you make, the more money you make. It's pretty simple. The fourth point is to prioritize retention over acquisition. Again, when I was growing last year and years before, it was a very big focus on getting more clients and getting results, but not enough of a focus on, okay, now we have got results, now we've got clients. How do we keep them around? How do we keep these clients around for much longer than just the initial commitment that they make? Now, there's, again, an entire video, an entire course I could do on retention and actually how we design our program to create retention. But I'm not going to dive into that now. The point is that for me to hit 100K MRR, I just need 60 clients. That's all I need. I've done my numbers. I just need 60 clients to work with me at any given time. So that's active clients, and I will hit my goal of 100K MRR. Now, some clients I currently have been with me since 2021. Some clients have obviously just joined. Now, there's lessons there in the people who have stayed. Why have they stayed? How can I make more people have the same experience, have the same feelings, to want to stay as well. Increasing lifetime value is one of the easiest ways to scale your business because it costs you so much in terms of time and money. Again, theoretically, to get new clients, to get new traffic, it's much harder to do that. It's much easier to get people and keep them with you. People tend to think it's the other way around. It's not. And so for me, a big part of me getting to the number is keeping my clients for longer. And so a big part, like I said, is retention over acquisition. Raise price every 3 months is the fifth point. So final 2 points, raise price. Raising price seems to be like an obvious one. I don't think enough people do it. But again, I've got great results, client results and proof already. Doesn't mean that I'll raise my price every month, but probably every quarter. So every quarter I'll do some kind of price rise. But again, I'll link the price rise to something tangible. I won't do a price rise for the sake of it. It will be right, client results have just hit over 5 million, or it'd be, I've now just hit, 70% of my MRR goal or of my student capacity. I'm now raising the price. So there'll be certain tangible milestones that I hit or that my students hit that will determine when I raise the price. And again, that creates a bit of a marketing angle and message around the whole raising the price thing. Because if you just raise the price for the sake of it, for a lot of people, it goes over their head. It might seem like you're just saying it. There has to be a reason behind it. So very, very simple, but raise the price. The final point is what I like to call an impulse offer. Now, an impulse offer very simply works in tandem with what I call your universal offer. And again, high level universal offer is the option of not having to have multiple offers to sell multiple things. Instead, the universal offer works on the idea of one offer that can be sold many ways. And so I'll briefly explain. So, for example, inside my program, we do everything. We have one-to-one coaching, group coaching. We do workshops and online course and content drops and audits and profile reviews and whatever you can think of. We do it inside the program. The point is that I'm able to sell parts of that program separately every month as an impulse offer, but I'm able to do so in such a way where it doesn't require any additional time, any additional energy. I don't have to do any additional marketing. I don't have to make any changes to how I sell, the funnel in which I sell. It is all the same, apart from at the end of that process is the impulse offer rather than the main offer itself. And when I actually deliver the impulse offer, again, the point is I'm delivering something that I've already done, or I'm delivering something that I'm going to be doing anyway for my clients. So I'm able to have a low ticket, let's say, option for people to work with me, to kind of get a sense on how I do things, but I'm able to do it in a way where I'm not creating an actual second, third, fourth, or fifth offer, which most people get stuck with. A lot of you guys watching this video, you might have multiple offers, memberships, online course, mini minds, masterminds, one-to-one coaching, group, whatever you've got. But I can imagine, and I know for certain, it's a pain in the ass. It's complex to have these different offers that have no relation to each other whatsoever. They don't benefit each other whatsoever. Most likely, the people in one offer are different than the people in other offers. That creates issues for you in terms of marketing, in terms of sales. The way you market one offer is different to how you market another one. You have to deliver it separately. Again, you get where I'm going. It's a pain in the ass. And so the impulse offer, again, you have your one universal offer. You can sell it in many different ways, but you can do that without having to do more work, market differently, sell differently, deliver differently. It's all within the same ecosystem, which means then you're just doing the same work all the time. Nothing changes in terms of my schedule. I can keep it under 20 hours a week. I can keep it simple, keep it profitable, and keep it scalable. And a great thing is that people who buy the impulse offers, a good percentage of them then upsell and join the main program. Again, that's the whole point. It's a funnel, it's an entry point into my world, into how I do things, and it pushes people into then the main program. And again, makes it easier in terms of marketing and selling in the DMs because they've now experienced something from me already. And so that's it. That is the simple version of the plan. Of course, there may be a few steps here and there that possibly I've missed out, but that is fundamentally the spine of what my plan is to get back to 100K MRR, but in a different way. This allows me to keep very profitable. It allows me to spend time doing the things I actually love and enjoy in the business. And also it allows me, more importantly, to not always be in the business. It means I can do 3-4 hours of work a day, more if I want to, because I enjoy it, but I can only do 3 or 4 hours really fun if I have to. And from after that, I can relax. I can go out, I can go in the gym, we can go shopping, go through that. I can do whatever I want because I built a business in that way. Now, I'm not at the same income level that I was last year. That's a sacrifice that I had to make, but a sacrifice I was willing to make, knowing that I'm playing a long-term game. I'm not in this for the next 3 months, the next year. I'm in this for the next 5 to 10 years. And I'm building a business that gives me cash flow, gives me profit, allows me to invest into other things, other ventures, other things that I can then have as my passive income as I get older and I retire, let's say in 10 years' time. I don't know, I'm just making it up. But that's the whole idea around this model. Simple, profitable, there's passion behind it, there's impact behind it, and you're always working on things you want to be working on. So that's it. That's the plan. That's the model. If you're interested in finding out how this plan also can work for you, please feel free to also reach out and let me know. I'm going to put below this video another video. It's kind of a free training on more detail on the actual model itself. And so if you're interested in that and how I can help you scale and add an extra, let's say 10 to 50K in MRR to your business, to your coaching business, then click that link down below. But otherwise, thanks for your time and I'll see you in the next video.